I'm from Texas, so shalom, y'all. Let's see if this works. So I'd like to discuss visibility, which I believe is the driver that allows IT to provide better value to the business. And with the proper tool sets in place, we can provide insight into operational networks, or OT, that we would not otherwise have, especially cybersecurity related events. All right. A quick overview of Noble. We're 17 billion U.S. market cap, around 2 million barrels of oil equivalent a year, improved reserves, around 4,000 employees. So outside of, we operate in 5 core areas, 3 in the U.S., so the DJ, Permian, and Eagle Ford, and then 2 offshore, West Africa, and here in Israel. We've also announced an MLP, or Master Limited Partnership, for our Noble Midstream. My team is responsible for cybersecurity of all the operations, both upstream and midstream. So to be successful in securing OT, we need to first understand what it means to do so properly. Reliability and integrity are the primary considerations outside of safety. So enterprise IT, in similar fashion, traditional IT security teams need to appreciate that significant difference. For us, for security folks, we normally think of it in a security triad, where confidentiality, then integrity, then availability. With OT or ops, it's the exact opposite. Behind safety, availability, and uptime are the top priorities. So when it comes to introducing additional features into OT, it's critical to think about the net operational impact. Adding any additional component, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, can create an impact that we simply did not anticipate or expect. The same is critically important for security solutions. Traditional security solutions normally don't play nice in this field. So back to the quote, the consequences of an operational shut-in would be felt far greater by those in OT, since they're the ones having to run around and bringing production back online in a slow, methodical way. Making sure OT knows that we as IT security professionals understand and appreciate that difference is literally half the battle, and the other half has to deal with why. So how do we explain risks in terms that OT can understand? I did that by first understanding what it meant from a financial impact and downtime perspective. To make that meaningful, we used quantitative methods with defined confidence intervals combined with true production numbers to describe the impact a cyber attack could have on OT. By the time we finished, we ran a drill against a custody transfer, which is where we kind of move over ownership from hydrocarbons from Noble to our partners. And by the time we finished, we determined that the impact ranged from $500,000 to $4 million USD, upper lower bound, with a 90% confidence interval. And based on this attack type, we could suffer anything from inaccurate meter reading to a total shut-in of the operational facility through high pressure. We proved this leveraging known exploits against specific devices controlling the process in our lab to give OT a realistic view of what could happen in the field. So obviously shut-ins aren't new, and OT is very prepared for them, but it's rarely considered that a cyber attack could be one that could cause one. So running scenarios like this in our lab really helps illustrate, to OT the impact a successful attack could have on their operations, and we don't have to lose a bunch of money in the process. So, there's a lot of attacks like this out there, and there's the more recent one, attack called Triton, targets safety systems or safety instrumentation systems, which would allow for an unsafe condition to continue to escalate, leading to a potential accident. There's no doubt that operational environments are complex systems. They're also hazardous. It's this very fact that drives the creation of defenses against failure. A catastrophe in the OT environment usually requires significantly more than one specific single point of failure. Ed Crooks of the Financial Times, when talking about the BP Macondo disaster, referred to it as Swiss cheese. Hazardous activities are guarded against by multiple barriers, and so long as any failures are scattered throughout them, like holes in Swiss cheese, the system will avoid an accident. It's only when those holes are perfectly lined up that disaster can strike. So to that end, these systems typically operate in degraded mode with certain rising levels of entropy. They're older hardware, older software, older operating systems, and so on. The type of stuff that you would never really typically see in a corporate or enterprise environment. You'd never see a millennial who'd want to work on Windows XP. So that said, the old hardware and software by themselves isn't really so much the issue, it's the required connectedness that leaves them open to exploit. Addressing those vulnerabilities and risks is really where IT security teams can provide value, just so long as they remember that change of any kind introduces new forms of failure. So our goal is always do no harm and protect the process. So to do that, we have to know what we're actually dealing with. What type of environment are we dealing with? Is it bigger than a bread box? Is the scenario we say? It means seeing what's going on and gain visibility and awareness of that OT network traffic. We found the best way to start is to monitor and inspect traffic utilizing a security platform capable of intercepting industrial control systems' specific protocols and devices. We do this by leveraging span ports to mirror traffic, or in some cases hardwire taps for serial inspection. Either way, we're not interfering with the production environment itself. This is a side channel. So what did we gain by adding visibility in the OT? Well, first, defense in depth. We gain insight by understanding without impacting operations. We have a platform that's specifically designed for OT traffic. We're given asset discovery down to the I/O level. And we can identify misconfigurations and vulnerabilities simply based on the traffic patterns. We have active monitoring with real-time alerts that we work through directly with OT. So as new alerts come online, we ensure that they're not taking our word for it. We're working with them to understand what these events are. And at no time can we interfere with that process, but we work with OT to understand and close those loops. So it's continuous threat detection for OT-specific threats, and we have full auditability of events and actions. So from an integration perspective, we can actively monitor remote maintenance connections, correct those issues in real time if necessary, or kill those connections if necessary. Full rights to revoke access. We work together with investigative issues to help remove the barriers between IT and OT. So we have the same goal. We want to keep production up and running, and we speak their language. Outside of that, advanced analytics. So this is kind of a future trending thing for us, but we want to be able to detect anomaly and threat detection, have the ability to baseline and report on deviations from those means over time, specifically things that could impact production or safety. And we want to provide predictive maintenance and failure detection for quicker response to resolution. So what did the OT guys gain as well? So they can now validate any changes that occur in their environment, line up to their management of change, which from our perspective is a critical safety component. We've done some acquisitions over the years, specifically in our West Texas facility, so this helps us identify assets faster. The moment we see traffic, we can add that to our asset management environment and run the comparisons. I say mean time to resolve versus repair because we're often trying to understand the root cause of an outage, because to us resolution is key. And finally, we've seen our polling improvements go up as a result because we've also gained more confidence in the data. So it's been a very positive experience. It's put IT in much more of a strategic position relative to helping secure the bottom line. Okay, well thank you very much.